Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of BC Buckets. I'm Matthew Bruni, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Colin, today we have Brice Sensabaugh, Ohio State freshman, 6'6", 19 and a half years old. Interesting wing prospect here. What do you think? What are your initial thoughts of Brice Sensabaugh?
Shot maker. Boom. I mean, he can make.
Boom.
He can do. He can do everything. I mean, he can score.
I think a simpler way of putting it is bucket.
Yeah, there you
He's a
go.
bucket.
Bucket. I mean, he can create by himself. 53% on midi, on his midi, 97 attempts, which is crazy. 57% at the rim. He can attack closeouts. 51.5% on post ups. 44.4% as a catch and shoot player. 41.9% as a transition three shot maker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's other positives, but there, boom, God as a bucket. Might be the best bucket in the class in terms of just raw bucket making.
We need a bucket counter. Put a bucket counter in the corner right here. Bucket. I mean,
bucket.
that is what he is, right? This is why you draft him if you're taking him in the teens, which a lot of people have him going in the teens. Personally, I'm not as high on him in the teens, but 16 points per game, 48% from the field, 40.5% from three, 80%, 83% at the line, like 44% on catch and shoots. Like he's a 3-level scorer, and that's what gives you comfort if you're taking him early in the draft, is that you're going to get a guy that can score the ball. What are your other strengths for him? I'll let you continue to roll.
I think, and Eric mentioned it with his catch and shoot ability, I think his off-ball ability is really interesting. I feel like obviously he's Ohio State. He had the ball in his hands all the time, but I think off ball, he could be really, really, really good in the NBA. I mean, catch and shoot numbers obviously are a thing, but if he's able to catch it anywhere on the court, boom, bucket, counter, put it again.
Another
I
one.
think battling on the interior with his weight is also a good thing. Like obviously, I have him down as like a 2-guard ish, but wing player. But I think he could play as like a 4 if he wanted to, because he's 235, 6'6". A lot of places don't have his wingspan, so I didn't put one down. But he had an 18.9% rebound rate. So he can battle on the inside, which I think is also positive. So he's an intriguing prospect. Like, I don't think he's a tweener, but I think he has the ability to be something that he's not right now, which I think is intriguing to me.
You seem like you're higher on him than me.
Yeah, it seems like it. And I'm going to ask you a question that might make you raise him higher, but we'll see.
Okay, no, go ahead. Ask or do we want to get
to go to the weaknesses first real quick.
Weaknesses. I guess when evaluating Brice Sensabaugh, it comes down to one thing and one thing only to me. How do you perceive him being a tough shot maker? How do we perceive him being a quote unquote bucket?
Bucket, right.
Because he did a lot of that at Ohio State. And there's two ways of looking at it. Either you can look at it and say, damn, that guy's a bucket and he's going to fill it up no matter where he goes, which I think is true to a degree. But to me, I look at it as he can't create separation.
Yes.
He has a decent handle, but he's not, breaking anybody down. He's big, so he can create some contact and with his strength. Like, that's a positive. But I just personally don't like betting on guys to continue making tough shots. That's the big thing for me with Brice Sensabaugh. His efficiency wasn't a concern, but when you play in the NBA at 6'6", without being a supreme athlete, without being able to get, I mean, he gets to the rim, but at 6'6" in the NBA, like I'm not sure he's going to be a elite finisher at the rim. I don't know how much I buy that part of his game.
I don't,
as far as bucket getting.
In the NBA, I don't see him with a ball in his hands. Just like I don't see a guy like G.G. Jackson with a ball in his hands.
No. Because if G.G. Jackson at least has the potential and the length and the size and the athleticism, all of these things to grow into a primary scorer for a team one day.
As a 4, yeah.
I don't think Brice Sensabaugh has that.
Why? Because if you look at G.G. Jackson, outside of his height,
how was Brice Sensabaugh scoring the ball? It was a lot of slow, not slow, but what's the word I'm looking for? He kind of like created his shots in ways that I'm not sure the NBA is letting him create those shots. And that's my concern. Now, maybe that's unfair because we see guys like I mean, the first thing I
Okay,
thought of, very different players, completely different players. The first thing I thought of was Kenneth Lofton, who we've said his whole career was not going to get a shot off, and then everywhere he goes, he gets a shot
gets
off, and he's
shot
a
off.
bucket.
Yeah,
So maybe I'm wrong, but I'm looking at it like he's 6'6". He's not um too super athletic. He had two meniscus tears in high school. Like, this is the guy who has been through some stuff, and so he has the ability to make tough shots. But when you step up a level from the Big Ten to the NBA, I just don't think that that's gonna do great.
my question, I already kind of asked it. I think GG Jackson and him are very similar players. Both have a good jumper. Both can score as mid range from three. Both, I feel like, have an okay handle. I think GG Jackson's is better. I think GG's a better driver. Obviously, his height helps there and his length. Both of them can score in a variety of different ways out of the post. Both have really good footwork. I would say that the shooting upside on Brice Sensabaugh is better. He
Mm-hmm.
shot better from catch and shoot.
Yeah.
I think both can cut really well. Both of them are bad at defense. Both of them were in awful situations in terms of how good their teams were. I mean, to me, it's like you could swap them out in terms of where you drafted him. I would say okay for both of them, and I like both. Like, I like GG Jackson. I'm not trying to knock GG Jackson. I think Brice Sensabaugh, and the things that he doesn't do as well, which I guess height you can't really help, and the things that he doesn't do as well as GG Jackson, he makes up for with his efficiency, because one way or another, the catch and shoot's gonna translate. It's going to translate.
Okay. I've spent enough time on the offense here. Okay. I defense is the reason why he only played 24 minutes per game at Ohio State this past year. Flat out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a secondary concern it's probably my main concern, honestly, but obviously everybody talks about the scoring, so that I have just a qualm about his scoring ability.
Qualm.
Defensively, a qualm. Defensively, I don't see the upside at all. Like, best case scenario, he's able to just stand on the court and not be a cone. Like, he was a cone. He was a cone at Ohio State. He was benched because of his defense. He played 24 minutes per game on I'm not going to say bad, but not a good Ohio State team because of his defense. And it's like, I don't see the activity level. I don't see the awareness. I don't see the rim protection. I don't see anything that makes me believe he's going to be a capable defender. So, to me, and this is where big picture, this is how I get to my point on Brice Sensabaugh and having him very low on my board, is he can shoot the hell out the ball and he can make some tough shots. That's all I can see him doing, because he's not a great passer. The vision's not there. The defense isn't there. The ability to create his own shot, I'm not sure is even there. So for me, that's what has me dropped lower. Now, I understand I'm in the minority, and I understand a lot of people really, really think he's going to be able to score at the NBA level, and maybe
Okay,
he is, but I just don't. I don't see it enough to make up for everything else.
I understand Ohio State's a lot better of a team than South Carolina was probably last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Defensively, they weren't that much worse in terms of when they were on the court. In fact, GG Jackson was worse defensive rating.
GG Jackson was not good defensively.
That's my point.
Look, I think you make a fair point when comparing Sensabaugh to Jackson.
Like he played what says GG Jackson plays on Ohio State and doesn't only play 26 minutes a game.
I think you're making a fair point comparing Sensabaugh to Jackson in your argument here.
Okay.
The thing for me is Jackson's upside is why I have him so high.
I think they are pretty close.
I don't think at all. I think they're in different worlds.
What's your ceiling? What's your ceiling for Brice Sensabaugh?
You want to comps or ceiling?
Let's go comp.
All right, I got Kevin Knox and Doug McDermott. There you go. That's it. And both are 6'8", 6'9". So I can't even say for certain.
Kevin Knox. It was crazy.
Kevin Knox, Doug McDermott. All right. That they were buckets. They are buckets.
They are.
And they are buckets. And they can't stay on the floor. I mean, Doug McDermott, to be fair, did play the past 2 years. He's been fine with the Spurs, but That's where I'm at with Brice Sensabaugh right now.
What's the ceiling?
Ceiling is I don't have a player written down for ceiling, but
No, no,
ceiling I
no, don't
think
need a player. Just like
Doug McDermott, starter.
that's it.
Started on the NBA team for 5 years, and then role player bench for most of his career.
That's crazy to me.
Um, yeah, I don't see it. I don't personally see it, but maybe I need to keep watching. Maybe it'll find. But I watched a lot of Big Ten basketball over the past week. I'll tell you that much. Well,
That's
I'm looking at a mock draft now that has him going 26. I'd be cool with him at 26.
but a lot of people also have Gigi Jackson going late too.
Yes, they have Gigi Jackson going like in 30s. Some of them like
Yeah.
um. There may not be a better pure shooter in this class than Sensabaugh, who plays like a 90s or 2000s bucket getter from mid range. That was one of the mock drafts. I just read it. I think that's fair. I don't want a 90s or 2000 bucket getter in the mid range. Unless you're Carmelo Anthony. Is he Carmelo Anthony, Colin? No, he's not. He's not. So I
I
need
just
him
don't
to
see how you think Gigi Jackson is that much different of a player than he is.
the potential. The
I don't
potential.
get it though. I don't get the
He's a
potential.
first of all, he's a year younger, full year younger, full
Okay.
stop, full year younger, more than more than that, 13 months younger. Okay,
13.
if we're being exact, give him an extra month of in the gym. All right. Um, but second of all, 6'8", longer, has more, was better out of high school, right? Like I think he's a better ball handler. To even though I don't think Brice is bad, I think he's a better ball handler. Like, I don't think he settles or not settles. I don't think he tries to take as many bad shots. He just kind of does because South Carolina was bad. Like it's just, I think Gigi Jackson has a much higher upside, and I think he
Mm,
could get there defensively. Gigi Jackson could. I don't think Brice Sensabaugh could ever get there defensively.
okay.
That's just my opinion.
That's
It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. What comps do you have, Colin?
I have TJ Warren.
Okay. You want to know how tall TJ Warren is?
6'8", I'm
Not
assuming.
6'6". He's not 6'6".
But here's the thing: is there's a lot of small forwards in the NBA now. He's also 235. Why are we just discounting the fact that he's like
Okay, who is he posting up? Who is he posting up? He's not posting anybody up with that 6'6". Yeah, get out of here. Just put freaking. Oh man, I think no, I don't see it. I don't see it.
okay?
He's strong. He can get to the basket. Like, but he's not doing anything against good defenders. Like, sure, if he gets a switch, he's a
Mm,
bucket. If he gets switched onto a 1 or a 5, he's a bucket. Absolute bucket. But not against a 3 that can defend. Like not against a 4 that can defend. I don't see it. His best case scenario, Doug McDermott, shoot the hell out the ball.
Doug McDermott.
I think that's very, very capable for him. Shoot the ball. Make threes. That's my opinion. But anything else?
No.
Sorry I yelled.
Don't get sorry.
I just felt very passionate about that. Brice Sensabaugh, Chris Murray. The Big Ten, these Big Ten wings are just not doing it for me.
Okay.
Not doing it for me. All right. Well, that's all we got for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all support on the videos. It's almost NBA draft time, so we will be have plenty of videos for y'all after the draft. But until then, we will talk to y'all later.